Hello and welcome to Karibuni Jikoni, Let Me Cook Your Dish. Let Me Cook Your Dish is a weekly series that runs on Facebook Live. It's every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Central European Time and 8 p.m. East African Time. And on this series, I always have one guest who tells me their favorite dish, and I cook this dish while I chat with them. And today I have a phenomenal lady, and Caroline Mwangi. Most of us know Caroline because she's very active on social media. She does interviews, trying to educate us, motivate us, inspire us, give us information on many different topics. Career opportunities, the list is endless. And she also gives a lot of advice and mentors young people. So, Caroline, welcome to Karibuni Jikoni. I'm so honored to have you today.
Thank you.
And, we see you a lot on social medias, but most of you know almost nothing about you, about your private life. And I can imagine most of the young men are asking, are you single? Caroline.
Yes. I always get this answer, most of the times where they always ask me because I am very, very, my private life is not there. So most people don't know about my story.
I know.
But I hope I will be able to share a story that people would like to hear about myself.
So clear the air for those young men who are wondering if you're still available.
I am a mother of two and I'm happily married. And,
okay. Yeah. So guys, sorry, she's not available.
No, already taken.
You're already taken.
Yeah.
So and Caroline, I know you came to Germany as an au pair, and can you please tell us how somebody who comes to Germany as an au pair ends up supplying 10 petrol stations in Nairobi with sandwiches? And before you answer that, Caroline's favorite dish is Mukimo. Mukimo is mashed potatoes with maize and beans. And to accompany that is Mbavu Choma. So what I have to do while Caroline is talking, I have to prepare the Mbavu Choma so that I can put them in the oven. And also the Mukimo, otherwise we won't be eating today. When Caroline starts talking, and me too, we forget everything. And, and what I did yesterday is I already marinated my bavu.
I'm salivating already.
In red wine and onions and rosemary. So what you do is when you're doing grilled meat, you cannot put the onions and the rosemary on your grill because it starts burning. So the best thing is to first marinate them. The best thing is also to leave them overnight in the fridge because the taste gets into the meat. And after that, you remove them if you're doing that on charcoal. Mm-hmm. Because you have a bitter taste when your onions are burnt.
Good tip.
And please answer our question. I want to know sandwiches for petrol stations. That sounds,
Thank you, Carol. That's a fantastic recipe, and I'll follow it up. I'm very honored to be on your platform, Karibuni Jikoni, and I must also applaud you for the fantastic job that you're doing.
Thank you.
Bringing another taste of, showing another side of how we can enjoy meals digitally. So people are asking me today, how should they join? So I told them to get digital cutlery, and we'll have an e-dish. Yes, mkule kwa macho. So anyway, just a short background. I I'm Caroline. I came to Germany as an au pair, and I did something very rare that many people have not done. I went back to Kenya after my 1 year au pair. Reason being, I did not manage to join college after my au pair. My German level was not good enough. And
Because of your German.
yeah,
Because
sorry?
of your German.
Sorry?
Because of your German.
Yeah. So what happened is the requirements were very high, and I needed to do an entrance exam, and my German level was not good enough. But I decided home is home. So I happily packed my suitcase and went back home. And when I went back home, I went back with this mindset that I've not lost it all.
Yeah. So that means, just to understand this, you are here, you are in Germany for 1 year. Au pair is normally 1 year.
Yes, it's normally for 1 year, yeah.
And you had planned to continue studying after that.
Yes, you can actually, like, if you identify a college or you would like to do an apprenticeship, nowadays they have changed the regulations. So you can easily switch from au pair to studies or au pair to apprenticeships. But by then it was not easy to do an apprenticeship in Germany. So I opted to go to college, but because I needed to do a very tough German exam to join the student college, and the visa was only for 1 year anyway. That was not much time given.
The language.
Yes, to learn the language. All these German, you know them, Plusquamperfekt, I don't know, Cognitive 2.
Mm-hmm. It's not an easy language.
Yes, and apart from that, the culture was very new for me. Everything was very new. I didn't speak a word of German when I came here as an au pair.
Yeah, and before we continue, we are on Karibuni Jikoni. For those of you joining us right now, I am cooking Caroline's dish, that is Mukimo with Mbavu Choma. And Caroline is telling us about herself, how she came to Germany, and her story. I find it so inspiring. So stay with us, and I put my meat in the oven now.
Okay.
I can hear you. So you were telling us about how,
yes. I had missed ugali after 1 year, so I decided to go back to eat ugali. Anyway, because I could speak German and had done secretarial, I managed to get a job in a hotel, and I trained there for 2 years. I managed to join the F&B department, and I left the hotel because I was always very adventurous. And by the way, I'm still learning the language because I didn't want to forget the language.
Okay, so you're saying you went to Kenya. So before you came to Germany, what had you done in Kenya? Or was it after Form 4 that you came immediately to Germany?
I had done secretarial, but I never dreamt of working as a secretary. I wanted to get actually into food.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yes, I wanted to go to Italy, but my parents could not raise the money, so I decided to do secretarial.
Yeah.
And because of the skills that I had, the typing skills and the computer skills, I was lucky to have a job in a hotel, and I trained.
And what were you working as?
I was in the F&B, food and beverage control.
Ah, okay.
So I would calculate the food cost in hotels. I was in the back office rather, working with figures.
That sounds interesting. Are you looking for a job, Caroline?
So I can calculate your food cost if you'd like me to.
Okay, that's good to know.
Yeah, it was actually a very interesting job because when you work in this particular area, the F&B control, you have like the background of the hotel, how the hotel is running. Like we would do breakfast costing every day, so we were able to know the plus and the minus of daily sales. So I can come to Karibuni Jikoni and continue doing the F&B.
Please do, because such people we need. And did you always have your career path mapped out? Like this is what I want to do, and this is what where I want to go, or did things happen one after the other? How was that for you?
Okay, the one thing I had in me is I always loved helping people, and I always appreciated if someone came and gave me information that will help me make a step to the next level in terms of career.
Yeah.
So like I did things like shorthand, you know, and this is something that my auntie introduced it to me, and typing skills. And I was fascinated that I could type even at 50 words per minute. I mean, I still type very fast.
Wow, that's fast.
And but like really structuring to get into business came with time. I left the hotel. Maybe this is now where I would say this is when I really discovered what I would like to do. I joined a bakery, a German-owned bakery. Actually, it was an Austrian-owned bakery, but we used to bake German bread in Kenya.
Yeah, were you, Caroline, were you specifically looking for Germans or Austria where also German is spoken because you had in mind that you would like to come back to Germany?
Yes and no. I think because I could speak the language and I was very confident, maybe German, yes. And I would like talk to the guests when they would come to the hotel, and I would, you know, just, I think also to practice my German skills. I think it's always fun if you speak a language. If you speak Spanish, you speak to people in Spanish and you know, in Spain. So I think it's just for fun. So, but somehow I always like had connections to Germans. And as I said, I loved food. I actually wanted to do cold kitchen. I wanted to go to Switzerland and do cold kitchen.
Uh-huh. Yeah, and when you talk about the language, I think that is a very important factor when you are somewhere in a land where a different language is spoken. It's very important to learn the language because that's how you get to connect with people. That's how you get to, you know, integrate well. And, you know, there are many people who understand English, but I think there's a Nelson Mandela quote that says, I can't say exactly what he said, but he says something like, if you speak to a man in a language he understands, you win his head. But if you speak to a man in his own language, and that's not only a man, it can be a woman also, in a language that, in his own language, you win his heart. So that means when you're in Kenya and you go to a bakery and it's an Austrian bakery and you speak German to them, of course you win their hearts.
Yes.
You're very, you know, your aura and the way you present yourself. You're a very confident lady. And I know that you did a degree in international management in the University of Augsburg. So how easy or hard was it to get a place in that university, to study in that university, to get a visa to come to Germany?
I think the challenging part for many people is the financial support, and even this taking the step of saying, I am going to try, because I was very close to my host family where I was doing my au pair. So we used to interact a lot, and if they came across an opportunity that I could try, I always try. But before maybe I come to my degree program is, I was actually very happy and very settled in Kenya because I was very happy with the bakery. I had a lot of exposure, and I also started my own business where I was selling the sandwiches. So coming back to Germany was really like a big obstacle. So I always tell people, make the best wherever you are, whether you're in Kenya, whether in Germany, wherever you are, grab the opportunity that comes along. And you start low, you go high.
Yeah, that's true, because you know, when it's also a disappointment when you don't get the chance to study. You wanted to study and you had to go back home. Many people will go and, you know, be angry and just let themselves go and what do I do now? But you went and boom, you started immediately and you went on. You don't let the small setbacks that you experienced, for example, you did not let that put you down.
Yeah, and also another point I keep on telling people, when you come here, my host family helped me to open a savings account.
Okay.
So the little money I used to get, I used to split it out, and they always made sure that I have a savings and Sparbuch. So by the time I was going back home, I had some little pocket money to boost me around. So if you're watching us, make sure you have a savings account and save every penny you get. And another point I also pass on is don't wait for people to do things for you.
That's my girl. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Don't give out your CV and wait for those people to get you the job. Apply, apply, apply. And that's what I did. I never ever got any help or any connection from anyone. I just tried. So anyway, back to studying in Germany. I think the most important thing is to know, what do I want to do? As much as there are so many restrictions, especially the financial aspect. If you have a degree program, there are several ways on how you can secure this financial aspect so that you can easily get the visa. So there are scholarships that you can apply. You can also have people, if you have like close family or friends in Germany, they can like sign a document indicating they're going to support you. Or you can also put some money aside and you can easily secure the study visa. So the most important details for you to secure the visa is you need the admission letter and the financial support. And it is actually not so complicated. So these two things are the ones that make it quite.
If you have the finances set and you have an admission from the university, then you're good to go.
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
Before we continue, I saw you cutting some green leaves. What was that?
I was doing some spinach because I'll be steaming some spinach to go with our nice babus.
Oh.
And I'm now like, by the way, those of you joining us right now, we are on Karibuni Jikoni. Let me cook your dish. Caroline Mwangi is, this motivating lady who is, I don't know why you didn't become a teacher. She's, she advises and she's looking out to help people. She does interviews with so many different people, career people, entrepreneurs and business people. And I'm cooking her dish. It's Mukimo with Mbavu Choma. So if you have a question for Caroline, you can hit the comment button, ask her. She'll be answering that later. So Caroline, I know that you're very passionate about mentoring young people. What possibilities and opportunities do Kenyan students have of studying here in Germany?
As I said at the beginning, Germany is not restricted to like Kenyans, or they don't say if you're from Kenya you cannot come and study in Germany. The bottom line is go and find out, what do I want to do and how do I want to structure my career path. And I think one factor that hinders many people is the language, the German language. And so they're like, yeah, I don't want to study in Germany because of the language. I prefer to go to another country. So maybe I should frame the question this way. Germany is actually one of the best countries so far to come and study. Reason being, the tuition fee is relatively lower in comparison to other countries like the UK and the USA. The only disadvantage is, of course, you have to learn the language, even if you're doing English programs in German. And I always insist this point, learn the language, because the tricky part comes, you find you have done your program, your English program in Germany, but when it comes to look for a job, they always want to see the German language element in it, not in all areas. So I wouldn't say it is easy or it's a challenge for Kenyans to come and study here. As long as you have the admission letter, then it's easy for you to come.
So it's when you have an admission letter, like you said before, and because many people say that it's not easy and they have applied. Do you have to first learn German in Kenya, or do you come and start learning here?
Okay, let me split it this way. If you're coming for the undergraduate programs and you only have your KCSE certificate, in this case, I'm talking about Kenya, you have to join the student colleague. It's a, let me say it's like the what is it called? After the Form 5 and the Form 6,
Okay.
where you had to go and prepare yourselves for studies
Mm-hmm.
later on. So this is now the tricky part because you have to pass a very tough German exam.
Okay.
For some courses, you also have to do a mathematics entrance exam if you're doing technical courses. But
Oh.
again, as I said, it's all in the mind because like what I did, because I had to do the student college, in most of the websites of the student colleague, they have downloads where they have a download section where you can download the past papers and do them. So I did all of them.
That's what hard work looks like.
Yes. So I was so sure I'm going to pass the exam.
You did?
And I passed. I was so sure I'm going to pass the exam, and I passed.
You were confident because you had prepared for the exams.
Yes. But I think the tricky part is also if it's, for example, the master's program, find out, do you have to do an aptitude test? What are the requirements? How do I prepare? So the tip I always tell people, nothing is difficult. Nothing is difficult to achieve in life, but it depends the way you approach it. So if you have proper preparation, if you have someone to mentor you, to guide you, then you're good to go.
Yeah, that's so true because most of the things are here in our heads. Because if you tell yourself, I can do this, I will do this, then it might maybe take a little longer, but if you want to, it will happen.
Yeah. And also there's another myth that most of us follow when we come to Germany, for example. So when you come here, you find people telling you, no, this is not for Kenyans. This is not for Africans. You cannot do that.
I know, yeah. You go start washing dishes.
Yes. Like I get a lot of requests, and there's a young guy who told me, yeah, I would like to do this particular apprenticeship, but he was told that it is not very easy for a Kenyan to get, to join this program. So I told him, have you tried? He said, no. I said, okay, then try. You might be the first one.
He was told?
Sorry? Yeah, he was told by his fellow friends. I told him that. So I asked him, have you tried? He said, no. I said, then try. You might be the first one. And he was actually the first one to be taken for this program.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow. I will be sharing his story very soon. Yes.
Oh, that's amazing. So, Caroline, you are the co-founder and CEO of KGCEN. That's Kenyan, German. Is this Germany or German?
Germany.
Germany Career Entrepreneurship Network. I know that your aim is to see Africans excelling in diaspora as well as in their home countries. It's not only about Kenya, it's African as a whole. And I also know that you're very engaged in your work. But please just help us understand what KGCEN is all about.
Carol, if you go abroad and you find a home, you feel at home, right? And that is what we are doing. We are creating an academic home abroad.
Wow.
Yeah.
You're creating an academic home for?
Abroad, for Africans abroad.
That's a good one. That's a good one. Yeah.
Because home is a place where you feel safe. And home is a place where you feel you have someone to look after you. It's a place where you find comfort.
True.
And that is what we do. And our home, let me say, our academic home has so many mentors. That is why we have featured so many stories on the platform, regardless of what you're doing. So whether you're an entrepreneur or you have done an apprenticeship, we've done nurses, we've covered also like apprenticeship as a dental assistant. So we have covered all levels. We have also done a program like there's a great university offering programs in Leipzig for people in sports. So there's a young, I think he's 22 now, I'm not sure. He's a table tennis player. So
Okay.
he applied for the program, which is fully funded, came to Germany for 9 months, he was trained and went back to Kenya. So those are some of the stories that we feature on the platform, so that when you join the academic home, you find a sister, a brother, an auntie, an uncle to mentor you.
So it's about the stories, it's about informing.
Yes.
Because when I go to your website, just tell us which website do you have?
We're still operating with the Kenyan Germany Career and Entrepreneurship Network, because we decided to start with Kenya first. It's a place that we know, but now we want to expand to Africa. We would like to connect Germany and Africa on that level. So what we are trying to do is to have a round trip. So telling people, you can come to Germany, you can come here either as an exchange program, you can come here for studies, undergraduate or master programs, you can come here for your research, you can even come here to work, you can come here as a startup and pitch. I've met so many Kenyan startups who have pitched in Germany. You can also go back to Kenya and have a safe landing as a happy returnee. So this is what we are doing. So we are working on a round trip and telling people this is what is happening. And maybe to add one more point is information is power, Carol. Like now, I admire what you're doing, because you are selling the African cuisine on another level. You are placing the African kitchen on another level in Germany, a level that many of us did not know. And I remember I met you through Joy Awe. Hi, Joy, wherever you're watching us. And
like many of us, so many of us have connected because of Joy Awe. Joy, you're doing also a very wonderful job of connecting us Africans.
Yeah, and I saw she had posted, do we have African restaurants in Germany? And someone tagged you. And since that day, I have been following you. And I'm so proud to find excellency, to see professionalism in what you're doing, to see
you I'm blushing, Caroline.
But it's true.
Thank you.
You're setting the goals for other African entrepreneurs who would like to set up such a place in Germany. And that is what I'm also very keen about. When you do something, do it thoroughly.
Do it well. Give it your best. Give it your best.
Give it your best.
No matter what you're doing. It doesn't matter. Whether you have a kiosk, whether you're selling foods on the street, whether you deliver, just do your best. So
just one more thing about the information is actually we are, apart from being an academic home, we're also saying we are small Google for Africa, because we would like to, if you want to like set up a restaurant in Germany, I'm able to find you through our platform. If I want to find someone who is doing great stories of African entrepreneurs in Germany, I can find people like Philly Yambo Makora on the platform. If I want to know about research opportunities in Germany, I will meet all those experts on the platform who have different areas. If I want to know about how can I relocate back to Kenya, you have, for example, the Kenyan coordinator of this amazing program that is funding Africans to either to volunteer or even to relocate. So this is why we say we would like to be a small Google. If I'm looking for a job, and we're actually not just targeting Africans, we also have Germans who are also interacting with us. Looking for jobs in Africa. We post also jobs and here and there. And one also element that we value is brain gain, Carol, because Africa is a country full of resources. So if we can be able to do this round trip and go back, we are supporting brain gain.
Beautiful, beautiful. And you also do webinars where you inform people about career opportunities.
She's woken up, but we'll take care of her.
Yeah, that's okay. You can bring her. She can be a part of this. So your webinars, Caroline, let's try to do this as fast as possible so that you can.
Yeah, sure.
It's motherhood. It's you know, you're an entrepreneur. You're a mother. You have to juggle all these things. So where can I see where you have a webinar, when it's taking place? How can I register?
We would like to actually to implement them into the new, let me say, business model that we would like to implement. So we are going to change from Kenya to connecting Germany and Africa. And so we'll have the webinars on our website, and we'll also publish them on our social media, so you can easily find them there. Because we are very active on the social media, you definitely not miss that opportunity to join any of the webinars.
Yeah, and what do you do the webinars about? I have to go and check my meet in the office.
Yes, please do. Yeah. So the first webinar we did was basically giving students information about studying in Germany, because of course there's a lot of information on the internet, but I think if you find somebody who is on the ground, who has gone through all these steps, from student colleague and undergraduate programs, master's programs, and also where you can connect with other people and looking for such opportunities. So I think that can really help you to submit a successful application. So that is what we did first, just a general session. We have another upcoming session end of this month where we will also check on the language requirements, because for some courses you need to know, do I need English certificates? And if I do, which ones? If I need German certificates, which level? And apart from that, we will also like to tell you some of the programs which can also help you find a job easily in Germany.
So Caroline, I can't see you. I can't see you now. I can hear you, but I can't see you. I can see a nice photo of yourself. But
I can see you.
Okay.
I haven't changed anything.
Good, but I want to see you too. You have not changed anything?
I haven't changed anything.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. But we can still hear you.
Can you see me now?
No.
I can leave and join again.
You have only a start. Just let us continue, and then it will come with time, I think.
Okay, or I can leave and join again.
No, just continue. We can hear you. Maybe there's a problem with the internet.
Okay.
So at the moment, you can see me. What I'm doing is I am keeping my Mukimo now.
What are the ingredients in the Mukimo?
I have potatoes. I have beans and maize. So what I do is I just boil that in water, but I fry the onions in butter separately and put them later in, so that I can have that nice butter onions taste.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah. And
can you see me now?
No, you're still.
Okay.
So I like the taste of the butter in my Mukimo. So that's why I don't fry that in the beginning. I do it later. And I put in, when I have done it well.
Oh, lekker.
You can of course use your wiko, but you know, it's a whole day's work when you.
I also prefer that.
It's nice to dance. When you do that, you can, you know, You can dance, but I think this is faster. I add my, after that I take the miko. I add my onions and the butter. So Caroline, I have to ask you this. I know you don't talk much about your private life, but I know that there is a Mr. Gashero. Is he also part of? Now you're smiling. Just maybe for once. Is he a part of KGCEN?
Yeah, well, there is always the, the people behind the curtains. Even as you go to a theater.
Now she's trying to give a smart answer without going into my question. Okay, continue.
He's in the background. He's actually working. He's working behind the curtains.
Ah, okay. Now we know.
Yeah.
Now we know.
Yeah.
So my mukimo is finished. It's looking. Caroline, I tell you.
Can you send it over?
Sending. Yeah. Let's connect after this. So before we serve the food, we are going into the just ask me part. That is a time where Caroline asks me 3 questions. I have 3 questions for Caroline. I don't know what she's gonna ask me. She doesn't know what I'm gonna ask her. So we'll alternate, and you will start. You ask your question, I answer, and vice versa. So, but while doing that, I'll just go take my lamb, and I'll be slicing them.
Okay. Okay. I can mention one more thing which I forgot to mention at the beginning.
Yeah, please do.
About what motivated us to start the platform is also to show the excellency of Africans abroad, because many other times where we never see anything positive, especially about Africa. So, and that is why we decided to celebrate people.
Yeah, continue.
No, so that is why we are very keen to bring out all these stories so that we can mentor the generations behind us. We also have African children growing up in Germany or in Europe, so they have people to look up to. So that is also one thing that motivated us to do what we are doing.
Oh, that's
So now you can serve the food, and I'm ready to eat now.
It's a way of giving back to your society.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Now we can start. Are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Let's go.
So should I start?
Yeah.
Okay. So Carol, we always see you shining, glowing, spinning, and dancing to songs. Where do you get this energy from?
Oh, where do I get this energy from? I think it comes from, first of all, doing something that I really love. There's this passion, and I am that kind of a person. I like dancing, and when you're feeling comfortable where you are, when you're feeling at home, because my kitchen is, I spend more time here than anywhere else, and I feel at home here. And this is where I get to do everything, I get to laugh, cry, and I get so much energy from this creative job that I'm doing. Because cooking is about creativity, cooking is about, trying out different things, and it energizes me. Yeah, that's.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Your question.
Ready?
If you were to invite 5 people to dine with you I heard there's a nice African restaurant called House Moonrock. You could take them there. Who would these people be? Who would these people be? And not your family.
Not my family.
Not your family.
I would, not my family. Okay. Do I have to mention names?
Would be nice.
Really? Okay. I would, let me say, I would put them, I have them in my mind. I would carry people who have mentored me in my life in different ways. As a mother, as an entrepreneur, as a student, as a young girl, and even right now as doing what I'm doing, I think that is what I would carry along because that's part of me.
Okay. Good. Next question comes from you.
So Carol, of course, being in a small village in Schaumburg, and you cooking mukimo in the middle of the village, how did you manage to get over this and not sell the knödel and the schnitzel and the German kitchen? How did you manage to introduce the African kitchen in such a village?
Yeah, we do German food. It's not only African, but mostly it's our African food that attracts people from all over. And I think it's not, it's how you present yourself, how authentic you present your work, how passionate you are about it. Because I am the way I am. The way you see me dancing, doing everything, that's how I am. And I want people to accept me the I am. And that means this is my food, this is what I'm cooking for you. And I would like you to accept it that way. And that is, it's being taken very well here, I should say. And mukimo is delicious. Chapatis are delicious, samosas are delicious. So it's not about where the food comes from, it's how the food tastes and how the food is presented, and your relationship with your guests.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Shoot the next question.
Which book
I can see mukimo on the plate.
Which book are you reading at the moment?
Oh, I don't read books.
You don't read books? Okay.
I've never got into reading books. I prefer to read short stories. Or I prefer to read like magazines and short articles. But right now I'm reading children books.
Okay. Yeah, you have to read children.
Yeah, because I'm actually trying to see how to revive one of the languages that is dying. So that is why I'm reading children's books, hoping that we can translate one of the books into a language that is dying very soon.
Oh, okay. And which language is that?
Kikuyu.
Wow. You speak to your children Kikuyu?
Yes, we do. So we actually like picking their books, their languages, and trying to see how we can translate them into a language they understand.
Okay. Beautiful.
Yeah.
So your question.
My question.
Yeah.
What's the worst thing that you've experienced in life, and how did you get out of the ditch?
The worst thing. As a child or as...
Okay, let me say when you are grown up, because as a child you really don't have a choice, but where let me say as a grown up.
The worst thing.
Something that was bad, but it had like maybe a positive impact later on.
Yeah, I think being denied the opportunity to continue studying law in Germany. It put a hindrance because when I came to Germany, I intended to continue studying law, which I had done in Kenya. And unfortunately, we didn't have platforms like yours during that time, or I didn't know you. So I did not have enough information. And my studies were not recognized. I had to go like do 7 years. And I was already 25, 26 almost. And first, you know, I had to first learn German. That meant about 1 to 2 years. So at 27, I did not want to start from scratch. So that's I think the worst thing that happened, which
turned out positively.
I am now. Yeah, exactly.
That's why I asked you the question, because sometimes we always concentrate on the bad side, but it turns out to be God has another opening for you.
Exactly. Yeah. So my last question for you: what do you miss most about home, about Kenya?
What I miss most?
Yeah.
I miss the nature.
The nature. Caroline, I have cooked your dish.
I can see. Lovely. Thank you so much. I'm coming.
Yeah, karibu. Thank you so much for being my guest today, Caroline. This was fun. It was nice talking to you. The information you gave us, a lot of it. Please visit her website, visit her social media. She's on Instagram, on YouTube. All those interviews you've done can be watched on YouTube. She's on Facebook. And Caroline, continue motivating us, continue inspiring us, continue mentoring those young people. We need people like you. We need this platform where we can get information. I wish I had that when I came to Germany, because I think, but you know, things happen for a reason.
That's true.
And you're here now,
yeah.
and people can contact you, and people can look up to you, because you're really a mentor for so many of us. Thank you for being on Karibu Jikoni. I say kula kwa macho. It's a very, I tell you, I'll post the recipe on Chef Carol's recipes and more. And thank you for joining us. Thank you for your comments, for your likes, and we'll see you next Tuesday on Let Me Cook Your Dish. Take care of yourself, Caroline.
Thank you so much also for the platform, and for even giving me the time to share my story. And yeah, thank you for the dish. I will tutakula na macho, but we are fine.
I'll send you a photo of it. I'll send you a photo.
Okay, then have a nice afternoon, and bye. Bye.
Bye.